Ladies and gentlemen, when we speak of factionalism, let me repeat here, as I conclude, that Jerry John Rawlings is not a faction and will never be. Love me or hate me, but for our party to survive, the core values of what I stand for have to be respected and embraced. I am what I am because of those values, and the NDC rose to national relevance due to those values. Reorganizing towards those core values is the best bet towards our resurgence. Thank you, and God bless us all. Wait! Hold on. Sit down, please. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. There is something. It's also part of the corruption. Something extremely dangerous happening in this country. And if we do not make the extraordinary effort to curtail it, contain it, and equip the police to deal with these matters, with this matter, things will be much worse for us in the next 3, 4, 5 years. And I'm talking about the irresponsible behavior on our roads. Look at the number of people who join buses from one area to another destination. It's like buying their tickets to death. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not good enough. Our roads will become too dangerous to ply on in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, if we don't begin to make the effort to make our roads safer. I keep saying that these things are actually not accidents, but some of us are not getting the message. The other day, I read in the newspaper the sentencing of that devious young boy, a group of them who tried to gang rape this struggling young lady in Kumasi. I thank that judge for such a speedy trial and sentencing the leader to 7 years. Let us see more of such cases being dealt with as swiftly as possible. A lot of these accidents or incidents we call accidents are not accidents, they are irresponsible behavior. In most countries, people would be charged for manslaughter. This is manslaughter. Why do we allow drivers to get away with this? I'm making an appeal to the law enforcement agencies, to citizens, and the responsible drivers on our roads to help us contain the indisciplined ones, to report them so that they can be dealt with, so that our roads can become safer. Ladies and gentlemen, I ply our roads very often, and I see the misbehavior, the mishaps very often. Ladies and gentlemen, we have people come into the country and they are full of praises for all the beautiful structures around town. The roads, this new this, etc. They can't even find their way to their homes or their old areas anymore because of the modernization, the changes that are taking place. Thank you. But what is the use of seeing these new modern, ultra-modern roads and structures if the human factor is still doing nothing about the unsanitary situation? Ladies and gentlemen, many, many years ago, when we didn't have these modern things, we didn't have so much electricity, we didn't have these ultra-modern roads and buildings, you wouldn't find any speck of dirt or an empty sardine container in front of your house without a tenancy arresting you and sending you to court. Our beaches were one of the cleanest. People didn't go to defecate on our beaches. We didn't even have universities. We had stand 7 certificate people. The social sense of responsibility was so high. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the number of universities, O-level, A-level, qualifications, etc. And yet, our social sense of responsibility has so badly declined. Just look around us. The unhealthy environment, the rubbish. So where is the development? There is something superficial. You had a healthier society in those old days than we do now. It's not good enough. My last point. I've always said that if we're not going to do something about family planning, we will be impoverishing ourselves. Hardships. We'll be inflicting hardships on our lives. The white people in the developed countries also used to discard family planning. Competition between Protestants, Catholics in America, in other places, till they began to wake up to the value of family planning. They could make money and savings, not just as a nation, but it started in the home. How can you afford mosquito-proof when that money has to feed someone? When you have 4, 5, 6 mouths to feed, how can they stay healthy? Ladies and gentlemen, I said, if we do not start doing something about it, the lack of family planning will become a coffin on our heads. Let's take it seriously. Let's do something about it so that we can enrich. A few days ago, no, a week ago, a week and a half, I should have taken the lady's telephone number. I normally do, but somehow I just neglected it this time. As we were driving to work, there was this middle-aged woman. She could have been in her 50s. From walking, and cars are very rare in that area. So as we drove past her, I told the driver, stop. Let's reverse and go and pick her up. Because she was having difficulties walking, and she seemed to be on a limp, or she was limping. So we gave her a lift, and where was she going? Oh, just to Lagos. So I said, okay, do you mind if we drop you at the gate? We don't have whatever it is to enter. So we'll drop you at the gate. And she said, thank you, that would be nice. She was so grateful, so happy. When we dropped, I think I fished for some money. I can't remember. It could have been 1 point something million. You know, the two of the red ones and some small one. I gave her 1 point something, like to take a taxi next time, to take a taxi. Oh, sorry. You have to go for prayers. I've almost finished. To take a taxi. But this man, he couldn't come and tell me, the MC. I don't know who's me. Dr. Agomenu. You know, when I gave this woman, elegant looking, 1 point something, to take taxi, do you know what she said? Which embarrassed me a little.